welcome to This Explainer. Today we're unpacking a highly compelling concept found in our source material, one that touches on something, well, let's be honest, it's something every single human being thinks about at some point. We're talking about the limits of our own mortality and what actually lies beyond it. We're going to dive right in and look at exactly how the text frames the ultimate promise of everlasting life. Think about your own daily routine for a second. We try so hard to stay healthy, right? I mean, so many of us watch exactly what we eat, we count calories or track macros, and we hit the gym just to stay in shape. But here's the catch. Despite all of that immense effort, most of us just completely resign ourselves to aging and eventually death. We simply do not expect to live forever. And the source text points out a really logical reason for this. Hoping for eternal life can actually seem kind of unrealistic and, frankly, undesirable. Because if living forever just means an eternity of growing older, frailer, and dealing with the distress of old age, I mean, who would want that? It's a massive disconnect between our efforts and our expectations. We put in all this work, the jogging, the salads, the doctor visits, basically fighting a battle we fully expect to lose against physical decline. Deep down, we resign ourselves to the idea that this decline is just an inescapable rule of existence. Section 1. A different perspective. But what if that grim expectation isn't the end of the story? According to the source material, Jesus spoke in a remarkably positive way about everlasting life, especially in passages like John 3:16 and 5:24. This completely flips the narrative, away from that distress of aging we were just talking about. When the text explores everlasting life, it's definitely not talking about endlessly extending the frailties of old age. Actually, scratch that. It's the exact opposite. It presents a profound promise that redefines living forever, not as a prolonged physical decline, but as a total restoration. Section 2. The Miracle at Galilee. Now, to truly grasp the authority behind these words, the source points us to an astounding historical precedent. It starts with this massive, miraculous event where Jesus feeds a crowd of thousands with just bread and fish near the shore of Galilee. And that physical provision was amazing in its own right, for sure, but it was really just a prologue. The sheer magnitude of that miracle drew this amazed crowd to follow him all the way to Capernaum the very next day. They were looking for more food, but what he delivered in Capernaum was an even more astonishing revelation than what they ate the day prior. Section 3. The Promise of Resurrection. So it was right there in Capernaum that Jesus delivered a message that redefines our core expectations of life, aging, and death. He shifted gears from feeding their immediate physical hunger to addressing the ultimate human limitation. The absolute crucial point is found in John 6:39 and 40. The text explicitly states, "Everyone who recognizes the Son and exercises faith in him will have everlasting life." That's the core teaching they heard. The claim that people could actually be resurrected and enjoy everlasting life. It's presented not as some vague philosophical idea, but as a direct promise. Faith opens the door to something way beyond the inevitable distress of old age, bridging the gap between our fragile human efforts and true permanence. Section 4. Hope for loved ones. What's truly fascinating is how the text takes this grand, sweeping spiritual promise and applies it directly to you. Breaking down the conclusion, the source outlines a deeply comforting promise with 3 main points. First, that many who have died can be resurrected, so death isn't presented as an absolute end. Second, that you yourself can enjoy everlasting life. And third, that both you and your loved ones can actually share this future together. It completely reframes those grim expectations we discussed at the start. Instead of resignation, the text offers this vibrant, hopeful vision of a life totally free from physical limitations, shared with the very people we care about most. So think about this. If the ultimate limitation of humanity could actually be overcome, how would that change the way you live your life today? As you reflect on what this peaceful promise could mean for your family's future and how it challenges everything we naturally expect about aging in life, I highly encourage you to keep exploring these concepts. For more information, please visit jw.org. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and press the bell icon to get the notification for new videos.